You probably ate the #1 food that accelerates aging for breakfast today. And the worst part is, the label probably told you it was healthy. We've been completely lied to about what keeps us young. According to recent longevity research, a diet heavy in these everyday items doesn't just make you sluggish, it literally steals time from you. Scientists at the University of Michigan found that eating just one serving of certain processed daily staples can shave up to 36 minutes off your healthy lifespan. We're exposing the 11 everyday foods that are secretly destroying your longevity, stiffening your joints, and causing inflammation. Let's get into it. Starting with a daily staple that acts like coarse sandpaper on your gut. Number 1, modern wheat. It is easy to assume that the bread we eat today is the same staple that sustained ancient civilizations, but that is a massive biological misunderstanding. The wheat cultivated over the last 50 years has been drastically altered. Agricultural scientists crossbred strains not for human digestion, but for weather resistance, high crop yields, and fluffy baking textures. This rapid genetic recombination left us with a protein structure our digestive tracts barely recognize. Imagine wiping a delicate, damp sponge with coarse sandpaper. That is essentially what the proteins in modern wheat do to the delicate lining of your intestines. Clinical gastroenterology studies routinely highlight modern wheat as the primary culprit behind undetected chronic gut inflammation. Even if you do not have celiac disease, this daily abrasive exposure compromises your intestinal barrier. It allows microscopic food particles to leak into your bloodstream, causing your immune system to constantly fight phantom invaders, draining your energy and accelerating cellular aging. Number 2, diet sodas and artificial sweeteners. The shift away from sugary drinks led millions to embrace diet sodas, trusting that 0 calories meant 0 consequences. However, substituting sugar with chemical sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin introduces an entirely different biological crisis. When you taste something intensely sweet, your brain immediately signals your pancreas to prepare for an incoming rush of calories. Using artificial sweeteners is like pulling a fire alarm in a large building when there is no fire. The emergency crews scramble, the sirens blare, and the system is thrown into chaos, only to find nothing there. When your body prepares for calories that never arrive, it disrupts your natural metabolic rhythm. Clinical metabolic research indicates that this constant chemical trickery alters your gut microbiome, wiping out beneficial bacteria while encouraging the growth of strains that store fat. Over time, these false alarms exhaust your metabolic flexibility, making you crave more food, and ironically, promoting the exact weight gain you were trying to avoid. Number 3, harshly processed plant oils. While extra virgin olive oil and cold-pressed coconut oil are extracted simply by squeezing the fruit, industrial seed oils like soybean, corn, and canola require a violent manufacturing process. To extract oil from these hard seeds, manufacturers use extreme heat, immense mechanical pressure, and harsh chemical solvents. By the time this oil ends up in a clear plastic bottle on the grocery store shelf, its molecular structure is highly unstable. When you consume these fragile, easily oxidized omega-6 fatty acids, it is like running corrosive water through iron plumbing. Over time, the pipes don't just carry water, they begin to rust and flake from the inside out. In human biology, this internal rusting is called oxidative stress. Large-scale longevity studies consistently link this specific type of cellular oxidation to premature aging of the skin, the stiffening of joints, and the rapid degradation of cardiovascular health. Number 4, margarine and synthetic fats. For decades, people swapped butter for margarine, believing they were making a heart-healthy choice. Clinical researchers now recognize this as one of the most disastrous nutritional shifts in modern history. The issue lies in a process called partial hydrogenation. To make liquid oils solid at room temperature, manufacturers bombard them with hydrogen atoms, creating synthetic trans fats. Think of your body's cellular receptors like intricate locks, and natural fats as the keys that fit perfectly into them to keep your metabolism running smoothly. Synthetic trans fats are like poorly cut counterfeit keys. They fit just far enough into the keyhole to jam it up, but they can't actually unlock anything. Because your body lacks the natural enzymes to break these artificial structures down, they stay lodged in your system. Studies on metabolic syndrome show that these jammed cellular locks trigger a massive immune response, leading to systemic inflammation. While food labels might exploit loopholes to claim 0 trans fats per serving by shrinking the serving size, even microscopic amounts of these synthetic fats accumulate over time, stiffening your arteries and accelerating the aging process. Number 5. Commercial breakfast cereals. We have been conditioned to view brightly colored boxes of cereal and instant oats as the ultimate morning fuel. In reality, these products undergo such extreme mechanical extrusion and processing that their natural fibers are completely pulverized. Eating a bowl of commercial cereal is like throwing a bucket of gasoline onto a campfire. You get an immediate, blinding flash of heat and energy, but it burns out in seconds, leaving you with nothing but smoke and ashes. Because the surface area of the grain has been maximized through industrial processing, your digestive enzymes convert it into raw glucose almost instantly. This aggressive spike in blood sugar requires a massive surge of insulin to clear it out, leading to a mid-morning crash that leaves you lethargic and starving. Observational studies on aging show that this relentless daily roller coaster of spiking and crashing blood sugar slowly destroys your body's insulin sensitivity, paving a direct path toward metabolic dysfunction. Number 6. Deep-fried foods. The dangers of harshly processed oils are multiplied exponentially when you introduce them to a deep fryer. In commercial kitchens, these unstable oils are heated to extreme temperatures and reused repeatedly throughout the day. Submerging food in boiling, degraded oil is like melting a thin layer of toxic plastic over a beautiful painting. The food underneath might have had some nutritional value, but it is now encased in advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Clinical studies focused on cellular aging point to AGEs as a primary driver of tissue damage. This doesn't just cause premature wrinkles on your face, it stiffens your blood vessels and internal organs, forcing your heart to pump harder and dramatically reducing the functional lifespan of your cardiovascular system. Number 7. Low-fat dairy. In the quest to cut calories, low-fat dairy became a dietary staple, but removing the natural fat from milk creates a highly problematic liquid. The fat in dairy contains the essential enzymes and fat-soluble vitamins necessary for your body to properly digest the milk sugars and proteins. Stripping the fat out of dairy is like taking the engine out of a heavy car and replacing it with a bicycle pedal system. The vehicle is still technically there, but it no longer functions as intended, and trying to make it work requires a massive, unnatural effort. Without the natural fat to slow down digestion, the milk sugars hit your system too rapidly. Furthermore, clinical dietary studies show that the pasteurization process used for low-fat milk eliminates beneficial bacteria, leaving behind a liquid that frequently triggers aggressive immune responses and respiratory inflammation. If you are going to consume dairy, fermented, full-fat versions like whole yogurt allow your body to process it exactly as nature intended. Number 8. Processed deli meats. This is an addition that is heavily backed by recent longevity research. Foods like hot dogs, commercial bacon, and packaged deli slices are loaded with synthetic nitrates and nitrites. These chemical preservatives are used to lock in an artificial pink color and extend the meat's shelf life indefinitely. Injecting meat with these chemicals is essentially a modern form of mummification. It stops the natural breakdown process, but those same chemical preservatives enter your digestive tract. Once inside your highly acidic stomach, these synthetic nitrates convert into nitrosamines. Extensive oncological studies have identified nitrosamines as potent compounds that actively damage the DNA lining your intestinal walls. You are trading the convenience of a quick sandwich for a daily dose of chemical compounds that force your cells into aggressive, chaotic mutations, severely shortening your functional health span. Number 9. 100% fruit juice. For generations, a glass of orange or apple juice with breakfast was considered the gold standard of a healthy morning. But longevity researchers now warn that drinking your fruit is drastically different from eating it, and it might be secretly aging you. Think of a whole apple as a perfectly packaged, time-release capsule. The natural sugar is locked inside a thick web of fiber. Because of that fiber, your body has to work slowly to break it down, giving you a steady, safe drip of energy. Pouring a glass of fruit juice is like smashing that capsule with a hammer and swallowing all the contents at once. The juicing process strips away all the protective fiber, leaving you with nothing but concentrated liquid sugar. Even if the bottle says 100% natural and no added sugar, a single glass often contains the sugar of 3 or 4 whole fruits. Recent studies on metabolic health show that without the fiber to slow things down, this liquid sugar floods your bloodstream instantly. Your liver panics at the sudden rush and immediately converts that fast energy into belly fat. Over time, this daily sugar flood exhausts your body's insulin response, drives up silent inflammation, and ages your cells from the inside out. If you want the vitamins, eat the whole fruit, but skip the juice. Number 10. Fast food and ultra-processed meals. When you look at a modern fast food meal, you are rarely looking at actual food. You are looking at a highly engineered combination of the worst ingredients we have already covered. Modern wheat buns, hidden sugars, harshly processed frying oils, and synthetic preservatives. Eating a steady diet of these ultra-processed meals is like building a house using cardboard that has been painted to look like bricks. From the outside, it looks like a sturdy meal that will satisfy your hunger. But the moment a storm comes, the moment your body actually requires robust nutrients to repair tissue, fight off illness, or generate sustained energy, the structure collapses. Clinical nutrition studies confirm that these meals are completely void of the micronutrients your body uses for cellular repair. They provide thousands of empty calories that force your liver and kidneys to work overtime just to filter out the synthetic additives, leaving your actual biological systems starved of the true nourishment they need to thrive. Number 11. Refined sugar and high fructose corn syrup. While naturally occurring sugars in whole fruits are perfectly fine, the concentrated, refined sugars dominating the modern diet are a slow-moving disaster for human longevity. Refined sugar is roughly half glucose and half fructose, and it is the fructose that causes the most severe hidden damage. Unlike glucose, which can be absorbed and utilized by almost any cell in your body for immediate energy, fructose must be processed entirely by your liver. Consuming concentrated liquid sugars and hidden syrups is like forcing all the traffic of a massive 10-lane highway to suddenly merge into a single, narrow dirt road. The system immediately bottlenecks and overflows. When your liver is overwhelmed by this massive influx of fructose, it has no choice but to convert the excess directly into fat, storing it in and around the organ itself. Research into non-alcoholic fatty liver disease shows that this internal fat buildup severely compromises your liver's ability to filter toxins from your blood. This creates a cascading effect of metabolic failure, driving up your blood pressure, locking away your fat stores, and drastically accelerating the biological aging of your entire body. Living longer isn't about perfection. It's about making better choices most days. Protect your body, and it will reward you with energy and vitality. What's one food you're cutting out today? Let me know in the comments, and leave a like if this helped.